Pause website. Welcome to this wonderful session, everyone. Learn in a practical manner how we can work with Google Cloud and what are the tools available to us and how we can best make use of those tools and get a better placement at any big MNC with as a Google Cloud engineer. Okay, so before we go to the actual course, I would give you a few introduction to our Logics Lab technologies. And I am Vijay Sharma. I'm a Google certified professional cloud architect. I have 11 plus years of experience in cloud and DevOps and SRE. So I'm currently working with an MNC as a cloud architect. I have been DevOps manager. So from my experience, whatever the real-time expectations of the clients are and the outside world, I would incorporate all the things in the sessions. So you need not worry whether this would be a practical or only theory oriented. We will be hands-on. We will be very practical about what we are going to learn. But again, there are certain disclaimers Google Cloud account and all. You will have to fulfill certain prerequisites, and we can learn together. So this is the course. We are going to start from today, and first 5 sessions are free for everyone, and then we can only those who have registered can continue the process, and then the course fee is 5,900 or $75 as per the US currency today. The course duration is roughly 40 days. We will we will we will discuss our modules within the 40 days period. So for any queries, you reach out to this number, take a screenshot, and there is a WhatsApp group for us for students community. I will paste this WhatsApp link in the chat. Please make sure that you join the WhatsApp group for all the notifications and any course related information you want to get. You will be receiving them in the you'll be receiving them in your WhatsApp group. So, and also we are going to record every session. So these recordings will be available to you. And then if you have any queries, you can reach out to our Logic Lab Technologies support team. They are available from 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. IST time, Monday to Saturday. And as I have mentioned before, first 5 sessions will be free to attend, and the Zoom link will be shared to the registered participants after the 5th session, only to registered participants. Okay, and for those who join our sessions, we will providing class notes, recordings, and everything. And I request everyone to stay put till the end of the session because we have some certain surprises and bonuses available. So for that, stay tuned till end of the session. And if you have any doubts, right, you can post it in the chat. I will answer at frequent intervals. And if you have any thing to contribute, you can raise your hand so that we will speak to you. So let's see if you have any person, if you want to introduce yourself, or if you have any expectations, or you want to ask anything before we start the course, you can ask us about the course or anything, or introduce yourself. Anil, Edward. If anybody want to introduce themselves, you can raise your hand. Anil, you are interested in knowing anything? Yeah, Tarun is asking, is this 40 days with the weekdays? No, the sessions are from only Monday to Friday. Okay, no worries, Sanil. You can lower your hand if you have any issues with mic. You can connect with our support team. They will help you with that. I just want to make this session a little bit more interactive, guys. Okay, let's not make this session early in the morning, moody and all. I want you guys to interact with me. And the first thing I want to know is like, what are you expecting out of this course? Okay, let's say you came to this class. I want to know at what level you are in. So, are you absolute fresher looking for knowledge on cloud and very new to the cloud technologies, and GCP is your first cloud, or you might have experience with other clouds, but want to learn another cloud so that you can be a multi-cloud engineer, so that you can better capitalize on the opportunities outside. Or you may be seasoned Google Cloud engineer, but you want to learn them from experts and want to take your game towards higher level. So I want you to put it in the chat, and if you want to share in the group, you can ask. Yeah, definitely. Prabhanjan, right? Okay. You can unmute and ask your query, Prabhanjan.
Hi, good morning, Vijay. Prabhandhan here. Thanks for giving me the opportunity to speak here.
Good morning.
Vijay, I would like to know why we should choose GCP or AWS.
Mhm.
And, uh, you know, if I learn GCP,
Mhm.
how far it is equivalent to the other cloud services?
Yes,
Can I, you
sure.
know, can I able to co-op with
Okay.
other AWS as other cloud services like
Mhm.
AWS or Azure as well?
Mhm. But
Yep,
so,
that's my
so the
question.
question is mostly around like why and how it will benefit me, right?
Right, correct.
Okay, good. Thanks for that. You can mute yourself and lower your hand.
Okay.
So this question might be lingering in the minds of most of the participants. Why GCP, and what edge it gives to me if there are other competitors in the market? How it can help me in facing the competition? First thing, guys, have you ever heard of this quotation? Early bird gets the worm. Okay, what does it say? Basically, uh, Google Cloud is currently rising and giving a tough competition to AWS and Azure. Okay, and it is increasing day by day in its market share in the public cloud organization, public cloud companies. Okay, whatever Google does today is it's a vision. They have kept it in a roadmap of in thinking future in mind, and looking at customer and clients expectations in mind. Now when I compare with AWS and Azure, now the job market for the other public clouds, right, is slowly getting saturated. Means there are more engineers compared to the available jobs. But when you come to Google cloud related jobs, right, the skill gap is vast. What does it mean? Basically, Prabhanjan and others, when the skill gap is more, that means there are n number of jobs, and the skilled and competent engineers available to fill the jobs are less. That means if you prepare well, and if you do your homework right, then you are better placed in the job easily, rather than in the other competitive public cloud, where there are one job, and you have 100 engineers ready with those skills. In GCP you have fewer competitors, so it's better. It's give you an edge when you are with GCP, and you can portray your skills better, and it gives you an edge over that. And the other question you asked, Prabhanjan, what is that? How can I get, or can you repeat the second part of the question?
Yeah, the second part of the question is uh, you know, most of the services from one cloud to another cloud service would be same, right? Like Kubernetes, if we take in
Mhm.
AWS and Kubernetes
Uh,
in
uh-huh, uh-huh.
uh, GCP would be same, right? So will it be similar or it's varies from
It
cloud to cloud?
okay. uh, the question has to some extent similar. To some extent, every cloud provider will have certain USPs. But coming to GCP, uh, uh, you might have learned it, or maybe the history of Kubernetes. If you go right at the DevOps or SRE, it all started with Google. Within Google, there were teams who innovated Kubernetes, and Kubernetes then became open source for greater public. So when you have certain expertise developed inside, right, then the same expertise could be provided as a service also. For example, if you see Kubernetes in Google, the managed one is called GKE, and GKE has three varieties, uh, like standard, and then we have autopilot and GKE enterprise. Okay. Now GKE enterprise is very unparalleled service, which we don't have comparison with AWS and Azure. AKS and EKS have similar services till you have GKE standard, but GKE autopilot and GKE enterprise are unique to Google. Similarly, several data and machine learning related features and several of the billing related features, for example, per second billing. These are unique to Google. So to answer your question, Google has its own unique selling proposition, which is attractive to clients and companies, especially in the mid-level companies and startup. Those who want to, minimize the cost, right? It is more attractive. Google is pitching in as a more attractive alternative to the costlier clouds out there. Hope that answers your question.
Yeah, yes, Vijay, I got the point.
Mhm.
And one more question, yeah, maybe specific to me.
Mhm.
I'm a Java developer. I want to know
Okay.
how would be useful this, how much this course would be useful to me, specific to Java developers.
Okay. Whether you're a developer or a tester or a DevOps engineer, nowadays everybody is expected to have certain cloud knowledge. Whether it is just up to building CI/CD pipelines or working with Kubernetes. So the reason why we are learning here, whether irrespective of whether you're a developer or DevOps engineer or entrant or fresher, the reason is that now everybody wants everything. For example, you may go through Naukri or LinkedIn, have a look at the resumes and JDs, job description. Now that uh, if you see the job description, it is becoming mandatory to have at least one cloud, or if not, their specific cloud they are working on, the team is working on, to have awareness about. So as a Java developer, I myself, I'm working as an architect, right? The team works on Java, and we always expect that the team to be aware of the cloud technologies, okay? And we give training to the developers so that they can better utilize the cloud skills in smaller tasks. They might not be sitting with us and working with the running of Kubernetes cluster, but they will be aware that, okay, particular service is there, like let's say they can use a VM for their development purposes, or they can ask, like, my app is down and I can see it in my Prometheus or Dynatrace monitor that my app related pods are down. See, learning cloud gives us that understanding to convey the problem easy and understand where my app or my particular thing is performing or not performing at what level. So definitely as a developer, it gives you an edge, Prabhanja. Let's
Thank you, Vijay. Thanks.
Okay, thank you. Also, anybody else want to introduce themselves and ask any question? You can quickly. We will take up a few more questions and let's go to the first session. Okay, Anil, you want to uh, you have still your hand raised. I think Anil, you have some issue with the mic or something. Let's do one thing. You can connect with our support team, and you can get your query resolved. Hey Solomon, you can unmute yourself and ask your query.
I don't have a query, but I just want to add to what you said. So
Uh-huh.
I'm a platform engineer, and that's the reason I'm taking this. I'm a
Mhm.
platform engineer and I do multi-cloud deployment with
Mhm.
Tanzu,
Mhm.
Kubernetes. So it could be AWS, Azure, or GCP
Mhm.
or vSphere. So that's why this course is important because you can deploy in anywhere. You can just because you don't know that specific cloud,
Mm.
you won't tell the customer that I can't deploy here. So
Yeah.
I just wanted to add to what you were saying.
Thanks, Solomon. That helps. Thank you
Mm.
so much. May I know from where you are joining?
I'm joining from the US. I'm joining from
Yeah.
Colorado. Yeah.
Great, great. Colorado. Is it
Mm.
Eastern or Pacific?
Sorry, say it again?
Oh, does it fall under Eastern time or Pacific time or Central time?
Oh, it's a mountain time. Mountain.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
Thanks for joining the session and stay put.
You're welcome.
Yeah, please.
Mm.
Thank you. And anybody else, if you have any queries, you can raise and you can introduce yourself. I can see certain participants who have given their intro here in the chat. I can see Tarun is a solution architect. Okay, great. Thanks, Tarun. Good. He has a good experience in DevOps. And okay, very good, very good. Nice, nice. Okay, very good, very good. Nice. Yes, Tarun. After this course, you can proceed with GCP certifications. We will provide you certain help regarding that. Thanks, Raghu. Raghu. Okay, good, good. Okay, nice, nice, nice. Prabhanyan doubt. I have cleared it. Okay, okay, okay. Okay, Tarun, you don't see any audio controls in Zoom app. Not sure if there is any setting at your end. I don't know if you can raise your hand, Tarun. Then I can allow you to unmute yourself and ask your question. So anybody, if you want to, uh, raise a query, you can raise your hand and I can allow you to talk. You can unmute, Tarun.
Okay, can you hear me now, right?
Yes, yes. Please.
Okay, that was just making sure that I'm audible. That's all. Thank you.
Okay, thanks, Tarun. Sure, you can mute yourself and lower your
Yeah.
hand. Yeah. Harjit Singh, you can unmute yourself. Harjit Singh, you have raised your hand. Do you have any query or anything you want to ask?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes, yes, I can hear.
Yeah. So basically, I'm a fresher, and I am working in a company where we are doing data migration to GCP.
Mm-hmm.
We have a SharePoint datas which we are moving it to GCP cloud.
Okay.
So for that reason, I just want to understand and learn so that
Mm-hmm.
when I get an opportunity, to work on those GCP. But do understand like AWS is what is the instances, how VPC is created. Because
Mm-hmm.
we also use AWS things, and I only do the monitoring part, logs, and
Mm-hmm.
also I create workspaces, AWS workspaces.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, learning is like more of an admin part, and more of
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
monitoring and those things.
got it, got it.
So how
Definitely,
is it like
to
so
some
what
extent.
all
Yeah. We will be discussing what are the services we'll be discussing in the course today. And also certain aspects of the migration we can see in some of the modules, but not entirely. That you might have, I can provide you resources where you can, find the extra bit of information you might need to, fulfill that job role.
okay.
Okay, you can mute yourself, Harjit, and we can give one more person chance uh, before we move on. Okay, Naga Kalyan Ram. Hey, Naga Kalyan, you can unmute yourself.
Jay, thanks for the thing.
Yeah,
So
sure.
we need to have, because I am from ETL background, this is my
Mm-hmm.
first cloud which I am going to learn, but I have
Okay.
little bit awareness on Azure side.
Okay.
I'm
Okay.
a ETL engineer.
Mm-hmm.
So do we need to have the specific, any specific extent of Python knowledge, or what
Mhm.
extent of SQL we need in this?
Okay. I expect this course will cater to freshers. Okay, you don't need to have any prerequisite about any other cloud knowledge. First thing, so we will start from scratch. But coming to the SQL knowledge and all, basic understanding of tables and difference
Yeah,
between
that I have, Vijay. That I have.
yeah. So that should be fine. Okay. We are not, dealing any database related thing. We will only deal about those things which are relevant to managing our cloud and delivering the applications or hosting the applications, or how we run day-to-day responsibilities with the cloud. So in-depth database we won't be going. So the basic knowledge which we need to work with cloud SQL, understand difference between how cloud SQL and other SQL options and no SQL options, how the difference is. That level we will go, and we will use those tools in wherever we are going to build any solution. So that level is sufficient. If anything is required, we will I'll request you to go through any document or anything. I'll provide you that. That shouldn't be a problem.
Yeah. In this, do we cover any migration or any admin concept?
Okay, coming to migration, see, that's a tricky thing. You might ask today about AWS to GCP
No, no,
migration
no,
too.
no, 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 not like that. So
Uh-huh,
just
uh-huh.
any GCP is a component because we are working on
Mm.
ETL side, right?
Mhm,
So
mhm,
any code migration, because I have involved in some of the code migration based on ETLs only.
mhm,
So
mhm,
again, I
mhm.
told you, right? This is the first I'm learning on
Understood,
GCP side.
understood, understood.
That is the
See,
reason.
there is a module we are going to deal with data related modules where most of the ETL concepts are covered there. So that would help you in migration related aspects.
Okay. So it's like you again sent to before. It's in a growing market, right?
Yes, 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 yes. Data is Google is known for its data analytics and data related tools. So BigQuery or data lake. These are all they help you in data related migration and data related processing, and other data proc and other tools are there. We will discuss them to a certain
That will be
extent.
covered as a part of this course, sir.
Yes, yes. I'm going to share with you what are covered in this course and what we will discuss. Okay. So please
Okay.
wait for a minute. So I'll
Okay,
start.
sir. Sure. Thanks, Vijay. Thanks for the clarification.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
putting everything on mute. Thank you.
yeah. Sure, sure. You can. Okay, guys. Thank you so much for being interactive and posting your questions. Okay. I know some of you might be willing to talk, but uh, since the time is running out, let's start with the session. Okay, what we are going to cover in today's session, and being introductory session on day one, we will discuss, what we are going to discuss in this course, and also I would rather than vaguely discussing what we are covering, I can give you a real time understanding of how we are going to use at different levels these modules which are going to learn. So let me take a scenario, because tomorrow in your interviews or in your job, nobody is going to ask you whether you have learned definition of cloud computing or not, or what are the GCP list out. No, nobody is going to ask, but only thing is they will give you a requirement, and you are going to solve that problem or the challenge with the knowledge you have about the services and the tools which Google provides. So I'll take a simple scenario or an example which most of you might know, but for the sake of freshers and for the sake of who are new to the field of cloud and DevOps, so let me give you a scenario, and from there we will see how the modules we are going to learn, the 10 or 11 modules we are going to learn, helps us in becoming a cloud engineer. Okay, let's start with our this thing. Let me share my thing. Okay. Okay. I hope you can see my screen here. So, it all starts with, how a user requests the site or this thing. Okay. So whenever a end user, how it would look like whenever you join an organization or a startup, the product. Let's take an example of an e-commerce example like Amazon or Flipkart. Okay, whenever an end user has a request to place and or want to connect, how does it go? Okay, whenever the request comes, okay, it hits something called a DNS server. A DNS server is something, what it does, it resolves the name to the IP address. That means if you say xyz.com, and now everything in internet is recognized by a unique identifier called IP address. And the one which translate that IP address to name or name to IP address resolution is called DNS server. And from DNS server, what it does, it sends the request to the relevant server. Now, let's say, for example, your startup or your organization, your application is running on something like a three-tier model. What basically three-tier model looks like is there will be a front end or a web server which will host all the static content. For example, when you go to Amazon.com or Flipkart.com, what you see first, you will see a login page and you will see some static products loading there. Or let's say you have a basic static page. So these things we call it as a front end, or we host it in a web server. And then there will be another layer called application layer, or application servers, which actually runs the business logic. So how where to load. For example, a request is made to fetch a particular product or the price of it or the availability of it. Then this request is going to hit the application server, and from there it will see like okay, how many in my inventory, how many products are there, how many are left, is it out of stock, or what is the price, several data. And also when it comes to data, we have another layer called database layer, wherein we keep the transaction related and login related things uh, with about our product and other things. Now this is a basic three-tier architecture, and wherein the request flows through this model. Now with this simple model, we will see how Google Cloud helps us in or the services in Google Cloud helps us in scaling it up or making it a full-fledged enterprise level thing. So first it comes the request from user, right? When it comes to our DNS server, we have something called Cloud DNS, which will be a highly scalable 24 by 7 available DNS service from Google, which helps to make sure that any request which comes away from globally will be routed without any downtime. So this is one of the first steps. Then coming to the servers, which we are discussing, right? We have something called compute services. So our compute services, such as VMs or app engines or Kubernetes, where to apply what we will discuss these things in detail, in depth, when we go and discuss about our each of our services. But majorly our compute services will cater to the servers which we are using. And now coming to the databases, we have multiple database, whether it is about document or structured or unstructured data. We have several services from Google which will cater to this. What else? For example, you need to send a message or mail. We have topics and subscriptions and queues to cater to that. And also there are data related services. Once the transaction is completed, we want to analyze where the request came from, and use our AI models to understand the customer requirement better, and further curate our products in a much better manner. So for that purpose, we have several data related products such as data BigQuery, DataProc, and other big data related services also. Okay, we will discussing all this in a model called a data related thing, and the database related ones we will discuss in storage related services. And for all this to operate, we need network, right? Where does this network? So we will have something called a VPC, and we will discuss how the networking components will be, what is a shared VPC, and how we can in enterprise level, how VPCs are first determined and then shared according to the project. And also all these resources are available in something called grouped together in a logical container called project. And we will see how the hierarchy in Google Cloud is. For example, how my resources are tagged to a project, and how I can group certain projects together in a thing called folder, and certain folders can have parent folder. And finally, how my organization at the top would be catering to all the requirement, and how I can implement certain policies or security tools to using those hierarchy. This all we will see. And then how authentication is managed and how access is controlled is being will be discussed in a module called identity and access management. So in compute, we have several compute services, as I have mentioned. The compute engine, that is basically VM, or app engine, or container-based tools such as Kubernetes. So we will be in detail discussing about those services, and detail we'll discuss about storage options such as the block, or other storage options we have, whether they are supporting the servers, or they are a object storage like Google Drive, or other services, or whether it is a database. We are going to cover these services along with the data related and AI related services to a certain extent. Okay, let's go back to our slide and see how we have discussed till now is related to the services we are going to discuss. Let me quickly go to the chart. Any doubts? Okay, no. Okay. So in the module one, so we are going to start our module one from tomorrow onwards, where for the sake of freshers and new to cloud computing, we will briefly discuss what basically is cloud computing is about. So again, I want to reiterate the point that we are not going to, theoretically tell you, okay, this is the definition of cloud computing. No, we want to make sure you understand the underlying technology, why cloud computing was necessary, how it came into picture, and what are the circumstances which helped in the rise of cloud computing, and how Google Cloud as a foremost public cloud partner technology is enabling the cloud. And also what are the different terminologies like deployment models, service models, and and other related terms. And then we'll go to how Google Cloud is positioned as a leader in public cloud market, and the infrastructure in Google Cloud. And then in coming days, we will discuss like how to create a free tier account for yourself, and we will give you a console overview and then offer it. Then we will proceed to module 2, where authentication and identity access management is discussed, which is very important. As a cloud engineer, you need to design a secure way how users can log in and users can connect to your solutions. So we will discuss about roles and service accounts and the policies, how you can ensure the best possible way you can secure your application and also the access to the application. Then in coming to the next level, we will see how our networking is virtualized in a cloud scenario. So when I say virtualized, it means you don't work with physical routers and physical switches. However, these all will be virtualized or simulated using something called software-defined networking, SDN, and we will discuss the virtualization fundamentals in very brief manner, and then we will go to uh, when we will go to compute engine, we will discuss what are the different VM types, what is a VM basically, and what it comprises of, and different types, what are the associated disks, and what is the life cycle of the compute engine, and what are images, snapshots, etc. And then we will go to something called load balancing. In our previous discussion, we were discussing a simple request coming and hitting a server. But in real world scenario, you won't be having a single server, right? There will be multiple front ends and multiple backend servers scattering your request. Then in that scenario, how do you make sure the request which is coming from the user is balancedly routed to whichever server which can best cater the request. That is called load balancing, and we will discuss different types of load balancers, how the auto scaling works, and what are the policies and configurations we can use, what are the instance group templates, and several other load balancing and auto scaling basis scenarios. Then, as I have discussed, we will discuss very briefly during the compute engine or VM time what a network is. But in depth, we will also discuss different aspects of networking, because as a cloud engineer or a platform engineer, you need to understand how subnetting works and what are different ways of you can set your NSG survival rules, how to configure cloud NAT for your external egress, what is ingress, egress, how network peering works, and what in a real scenario, how you can work with shared VPC, and all we will see, okay, in depth in network services. In the next module, we will see the storage services. There are different GCP related storage and database services, like object block, and then database related services like Cloud SQL, Cloud Spanner, and then there are NoSQL database such as Bigtable, Firestore, etc. And also we will discuss a few of the storage options. We will see a demo. We will create and we will see how they operate. What are the life cycle of it? Most importantly, how we can make sure that these services are properly taken care of in a manner that we can optimize the cost for our organization. See, always we think in the perspective of the client, and we see through his lens, through his or her lens, so that we make sure that we are best suited to the organization needs, and we will cater to that requirement. So next one is a very special module. Although it might be an advanced module, I believe that this will give an edge to you, whether you are a developer or a platform engineer or very new to the cloud. Having a knowledge of containerization, containerization runtime like Docker, and orchestration engine like Kubernetes is very important. So we are going to deal with how what Kubernetes is briefly, what Docker is briefly, and then after introduction to those technologies, we will see how Kubernetes and why it is necessary, basically why we need Kubernetes or why we need Docker in a microservices dominated world. How they are going to help me as a cloud engineer. And then we will go to logging and monitoring section, where we want to analyze what is the difference basically between logging and monitoring. What are the metrics I want to monitor, and what are the logs I want to fetch? What are the tools available, inbuilt tools? What are the third-party tools available? How I can integrate them, and what are the best practices of SRE? If some of you might be SREs, okay? So Google is known for its site reliability engineering practices. So monitoring and logging plays a very crucial role in becoming a SRE, okay? So that we will discuss here. In the next module, we will see certain serverless services which are very popular among startups for their suitability to low cost and high speed world. So certain serverless options like App Engine and Cloud Functions, Cloud Run, we will discuss at length about how we can use them in the development phase. of our application. Then we have dedicated a special module for data related services. In the previous modules we have discussed about storage related services, but here we will discuss more about data and machine learning services. How Google is managing, how it became a leader in data services, especially big data and processing of big data, and how machine learning and AI services are very unique and transformative in terms of providing value to the end users in Google. So that is one area we are going to touch upon. And apart from that, we will be discussing in most of our sessions. I will be providing you certain certification related questions if you are interested in going through GCP certification, whether it is digital leader or cloud architect or cloud engineer or DevOps engineer. Please let me know in the chat if you need these things. Otherwise, there is no point, right? Whether you need certain at every 2 days or at every module end, do you need relevant certification based questions or something related to that? If you need, let me know in the chat window. Okay, and then okay, we come to the discussion about what we are going to share. Okay, sure, Anil. Definitely, we will share with that. Now, I have discussed already the course fee and the and the course duration. Okay. Okay, this is the course fee of 5,900. Till now, whatever you have queries or anything, I just want to know from you. You have any queries? Just let me know by raising your hand if you want to ask any questions till now. And we have some certain surprises. We want to announce them before that. Yeah, Anil, please unmute yourself.
Yeah, hi Vijay, how are you? Can you
Thanks.
able to hear me now?
Yeah. At last, thanks. I'm able to hear you.
Yeah, so basically I'm targeting because even my organization is moving to GCP. So we have been into traditional, I mean like legacy
Okay.
applications, and this is the first migration. We are going for something like hybrid, like some Azure and also for GCP.
Okay.
So
Good.
because GCP has got high security,
Yes.
this thing, so they are preferring GCP. So
Good.
that's where, I wanted to get started because as the course continues, I wanted to have associate
Yeah.
cloud, this one,
Yeah.
to be completed. So if you can
Very
provide me those details also, it will be very helpful.
Sure. Thanks for asking that question. Yeah, very relevant point you have hit upon. So at every scenario, I would also be sharing relevant services from other clouds to make you simple to understand. For example, some of you might be having AWS knowledge or Azure knowledge. So if I give similarity between services and examples of how we work in other clouds, that will help in understanding for some of these participants. So I definitely help will present you all the relevant materials, all the relevant examples to help you in understanding, and also for your exam. Also, we will provide you questions and related aspects, Anil.
And also these recordings you will be providing, right? Every
Yes,
week.
we will be providing all the recordings. Uh, I think like every day, at the end of the day, once it is processed, we will be sharing the recording with you. And also the first 5 recordings will be there in the YouTube, but post that, we will be sharing the recordings only to the registered participants. And yes, we will be sharing the notes also, notes, videos, and any other material we use in this lecture series, we will share with you.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Sure. You can mute yourself. So now coming back to the most important part, like, the course fee, right? The course fee is 5,900. Now, I asked you and requested you to wait till the end of the session, right? So, as a part of trusting Logic Lab technologies and no reposing faith on us, we have certain bonuses or certain surprises to provide you as a act of gratitude. Okay, we have certain other offerings. Like for example, we have something called a career building series. It is a set of 5 sessions wherein in each of the session one aspect like how we can craft our resume to suit the needs. Another session would be like how we can leverage LinkedIn to better market ourselves. Such kind of 5 sessions would be there which will immensely help you in growing in your career, and progressing at whatever level you are. You can take it and grow to next level. Okay, that is one series which we charge actually 5,000 for that. There are MongoDB lecture series which are worth 5,000. And at the end of the GCP course, we will have a live end-to-end project on GCP where we will set up in a session. We will demonstrate how all the services are put together, how we can have a end-to-end cloud project in GCP. That is one session we are going to discuss. And also, as I have promised to the previous participants, there will be GCP certification dumps, which will immensely help you in clearing your certification exams. So the worth of all these things is 15,000 rupees, are equivalent approximately $175 in terms of USD. And for those students or for those participants who trusted us and who are going to trust us and start with the course today and tomorrow, we are going to give them absolutely free of cost all these sessions. Okay, so this is our thank you to all of you for reposing trust on us. And if you complete your registration today and tomorrow, please complete it as soon as possible to avail these benefits. And we will share with you the necessary details in the meanwhile. As soon as the session starts rolling on, we will make these things available to you. Okay, so thank you and make use of this offer and this thank you gesture from our side. Again, if anybody has any queries or anything.
Yeah, I do have a question.
Oh yeah, Edward. Is that
Oh, Solomon.
Solomon? Yeah,
This
tell
is
me.
Solomon. Yeah. Yes. Oh, so most of the things that we do as platform engineers involve some kind of key management, such as um, Azure keyboards, like the Ansible
For secret
keyboards
purpose.
or Terraform keyboards, and then there is some kind of certificate management process in place too, using SAT Manager.
Okay.
Will you be able to demonstrate to us how to create certificates
Okay.
and
What I can.
also how to manage the certificate or deploy using
Mhm.
Start Manager as well on each
Okay.
cluster?
Okay. While discussing the Kubernetes, I will discuss Secret Manager. Please remind me. I will take
Okay,
certain time out for discussing the certificate renewal and certificate management related concepts.
okay, sounds good. Yeah,
Yeah,
because that's one
that
of the
should be okay,
concepts that we don't get to learn here, and when
right?
we go to the
Yeah.
job is there.
Yeah. Really,
Yeah.
Solomon, like in the real world, like for all the tools to learn, it would be really time taking. But as you have requested, certain tools which I have not mentioned in the course brochure, right, or the course modules, we can certainly facilitate certain time and we can discuss those things. Please remind me
Okay,
in
sounds good.
module 6 or 7 where we discuss
No,
our
just so.
Kubernetes related concepts. Yeah.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Please
That's
mute.
all I have.
Yeah, sure, Saul. Anyone?
Vijay, I have one question, Vijay.
Yeah. Please tell me.
Yeah, Vijay, I am in the night shift. So is the timing morning 7 a.m. is fixed or any change in future sections you are going to?
Regarding that, I'm sorry, Naga Kalyan. It might be because it is determined based on request from many of the participants. This time has been determined, but you can connect with our support team and see what can be worked out. Okay, please connect with the support team. I'm going to share the links and the contact numbers in the chat. Please connect with our support team and see what we can uh, 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 sort out for you.
Okay, then fine. Thank you, Vijay.
Sure, Navi. Anyone else? Edward, please unmute yourself.
Vijay, end of the course, will you share interview questions and scenarios, anything?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. Thank you, Vijay.
Sure.
Okay, so this is Edward calling. I just want to inquire about those fees that you mentioned there, like that. That if we register between today and tomorrow, they will be free. I'm just curious to know. This is not my first training that I am taking or take from Logic Labs. I did Azure DevOps. I started VMware. Python, all those courses I've bought with
Thank you so much.
from Logic Labs, but all those dumps and resume writing, or they give it for free. So why is this one, this GCP kind of different?
This is my course. This whatever resume or whatever this course is my own. I will be personally providing you this course. I don't know whether you have got it earlier from others, but Edward, this is from my side.
No, I'm just talking that the same other courses from Logic Labs, but this comes through Logic Labs also, right? It is your course, but
Yes.
it comes through Logic Lab.
Yes, we will be providing everything through the Logic Tab platform only. And I, as a trainer, I would be providing you the career building series course free of cost for only the participants of GCP who are going to join. For other participants or for other Logic Lab old students, there will be a certain fee for that. This is, hello, Edward, am I audible?
Yeah, I'm listening. So it's just your own way that anybody who registers probably after the third or fourth day, they don't get this.
You can connect with us. You can connect with us. See, it depends on scenario to scenario. Certain people will have certain restrictions. We are also human beings. We understand the situation, but we want to make sure we want to reward those people who trust us, right? Okay, so that's what. As simple as
already. If somebody is registering for the course, be it the second day or the third day or the fourth day, is because they trust you guys. But
yeah, sure.
It
that
has
we can
to be
sort out. That we can sort out, definitely. That shouldn't be a problem.
Okay.
Okay then. So I hope if anything else is on the minds of you, yeah, we can. Okay. Okay, would you teach real-time scenarios? Yes. Examples of each module are only a basic demo example to know the concept. With real-time scenarios, it would be helpful. See, Srish, now to provide a real-time scenario, certain restrictions would be there in free tier. Okay, whatever I display or demonstrate to you in this session, right? I want you to replicate them at your own. Okay, certain scenarios like GK enterprise, right? We cannot get it on free tier, but I will try to teach as much realistic or give you real-time scenarios as possible at each juncture. That I can help. I cannot guarantee that everything in enterprise or everything in the organizations out there I would be able to replicate, but definitely I would be giving you real-time scenarios. You need not be worrying about that. So with this, we will come to the end of the session. I have discussed already. This is not some marketing gimmick or something. I want you to understand that I'm grateful to you for being part of this journey with me. Okay. Apart from that, please register here, and these are the details. I would be and also most important, we have a very effective WhatsApp group which helps in being a forum for notifications or any updates from our codes or anything. You will get them in the WhatsApp group. So I'm going to leave it in the chat here. Okay, please join that WhatsApp group, and there are support numbers you can reach out to, and you can please go ahead and have a chat if you have any queries. Like, as Edward has kindly mentioned, if someone joins 1 or 2 days delayed, wouldn't they be getting it? Or certain kind of queries which you have personal, which you cannot share in a group or in the sessions, you can definitely post us through these channels. Okay. Thank you, Aaron. Thank you for joining this session. From tomorrow onwards, we will be starting our module 1, and then we will proceed with our further real-time based Google Cloud tools and services. Okay. Thank you. Thank you very much.
From Monday to Friday or Saturday also?
No, Monday to Friday only.
Okay. Thank you, Jay.
Okay. Thank you, everyone. Please make sure of the benefits we are providing you, and make sure we get you, in a better job and better technology. Okay. Thank you, guys. Thank you.